forward to my computer, and then I'm going to go back to share. All right. Okay, so how are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Doing well. Just got off a call with Loy and Beth, and Beth's told me about all the wonderful things you're doing, that you're coming in early, and that you're working with Pete and Kirsten, and that you're doing wonderful things for them. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah. So got the videos and just taking a look at them. Again, really nice job. It seems like this whole process is pretty smooth for you. How are you feeling about it all?
I mean, pretty good. Like you said, I've been able to be with a couple different groups, and I think that's actually working in my benefit because I'm seeing everybody else do it and practice it, and then I get to do it, and so I think that's all really helpful for me. I apologize that my video got cut off. I looked over and it was just not recording anymore, so I apologize. It's a little discombobulated for your video.
That's not a problem at all, and I know sometimes having them a little bit shorter makes them easier to upload too. So having it cut into pieces is not a bad idea at all. But yeah, so it showed everything we needed to see for this. So tell me about doing this video.
Let's see. So we grabbed Jill. Jill was the one sitting in the chair being the patient with dementia, and she went to Skills Day, so she kind of had an idea of what we were working on. So it was good to do it with her. I mean, I had Kirsten be the person doing PPA, and she's pretty good at it, having gone to both dementia trainings, and so it was hard to pick something out, I guess. But I tried to take into account what you had said last time, and listening better to what they have to say, what they think they need to work on. Even if I thought she did it okay, if she felt like she needed to work on it, I kind of went with that and went with the flow. But yeah, otherwise I thought it went okay.
Yeah, so you do have the advantage that she is pretty skilled. All of you guys are doing great. So you're working with some people that have a lot of skill in this. How about Jill? Was Jill at one of the skills days?
She was at the first one.
Okay.
But it had been a while since she thought about it, she said. So yeah.
So it's really kind of interesting to see you guys who are in the preceptor class. Part of this process, this overall 6-week mentoring process, is it really keeps it forefront in your mind. And we went to not only the first skills day, but then the mentoring time, and the TIPA time, and continuing on. So you get to sort of see where you guys are, having built this into a regular schedule of practice and making these sort of routines, versus those who just the first skills day and then their life became their life again, and they it, which happens. So
and it has been amazing. I just feel like since this is at the front of my mind, I'm finding more and more patients that I do use PPA with. Before I was like, I don't work with patients with dementia that often, but now I feel like I'm seeing them every day, and I'm trying to use this approach every day, and so it's been really helpful with that too. And even with my patients who don't have dementia, I still find myself using aspects of it, and so it's been really, really helpful. It's awesome. I love it.
Were you using as either side of the cheat sheet, or were you sort of not using it, going by routine at this point, or how are you doing that?
I was holding the sheet. I know I glanced at it a couple times, the cheat sheet. I mean, I look at it just to see where I'm at. I'm trying to do better of not reading it verbatim, because that's where I kind of get myself into trouble. But I usually glance at it just to make sure I'm keeping it moving and that I'm in the right spot.
Excellent. So it's seeming really natural. It seems like you have a good flow and it's feeling comfortable to you. Do you agree?
I think so. Yeah, I do.
Um, so at this point for you, is it the picture side? Is that more helpful than the written out side, or what do you think is more helpful?
I've been looking more at the written side, but maybe I should try looking at more just the quick visual. But
Oh, I think you froze up. I think you froze there for a minute.
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I think our internet just went out really quickly, but it's back.
So you've been using more the written side, but maybe trying the box side.
Yeah, yeah.
So my thought, what worked for me is focusing on the written side first, and then once that was made sense in my mind, that's where the picture side became more helpful as just sort of a reminder of where I am in the process. So it sounds like that might be how you're learning it as well. You might
Yeah.
you might want to give that a try, see if it helps. Um, so
Yeah.
what we were just discussing with Loy and Beth is I kind of missed a little bit of the picture on. Oh, internet's a little unstable. So
I know. I know.
yeah. So I'm sorry if I'm breaking up there on you. For call three, uh, what Loy was doing, and she designed this with Tipa, and I kind of missed it, was for call three to do sort of like a live, get two people together and do the preceptor process live on call three. So we kind of missed that, and that's my fault.
Okay.
I missed doing that. But she's saying that would be a good thing to do for call five. So that'll be our next call.
Okay.
And if you have your call outline sheet there, it says preceptor, PLWD, person living with dementia, and PPAer. So is it
Oh,
possible?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just somehow missed that. Um, so what do you think about that? Is that a possibility of getting three people together um, at some time to do a live sort of call of that?
Let's see. Our next call was scheduled for next week, right?
Yep.
Um, Maybe. I mean, I'm on site with Pete, so I can maybe do it with him. I can ask. It's kind of hard to get all of us together and for them to justify that many therapists being out of commission for a half hour.
Sure.
But I can see what I can do.
What about non-therapists? What about other people that you might be around at that time that you could recruit in?
I can talk to our staff and see. I can try. I can try.
Okay. So why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and do the regular call? So the homework for call four is the same sort of thing, but it's for an Amber Ruby for call. Um, I'm sorry, that's what you just did. So for call five, we're looking at the homework for call five. It's the same thing. It's the whole interaction, and it's your choice of what gem level you want to do. Um, and so you just go through the whole precepting process, which you've done, and you did a nice job of from setup to doing it to identifying something to work on, working on that one little piece, and then the follow up. So you've done what you just did is perfect. That's what we want to see. So this next call for call five would be the same sort of thing, but your choice of gem. Um,
Okay.
so am I off? Am I a call off here? So you did,
But
this is our call 4, forgive me.
correct. Yep.
So the homework for call 4 is really again Amber Ruby.
Yep.
Okay, that's for call 5, and then the last one is you pick your own gem or situation. So I sent you the level 3 skills. Did you have a chance to take a look at that?
I didn't. I've been pretty busy with patients all day.
Not a problem. Maybe you could take a look at that when you have a chance.
Okay.
Pull it up here.
I can pull it up right here right now too.
Okay. So it's a level 1, 2, and 3 skills for therapists.
Yep.
Okay. So level 3 is about identifying unmet needs.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
we talked a lot about that with Tipa on the day of. Or did it feel like we didn't talk a lot about that on the day of with Tipa?
No, I think it felt like we did.
Okay.
More so than what we did on the skills day.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me just open this here.
I definitely felt like after I left the second training that I could identify GEMS levels so much more easier. So
Okay.
yeah.
So tell me about that. After the second day of training and the gem levels, they all seemed to click. What was helpful there for you?
I think just asking us to act out those specific gem levels was really helpful. And then just seeing everybody else act them out too. You got to see the different levels and it was easier to see that difference between. And so I think us actually acting them out really helped me.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. That's excellent. So as we look at the level 3 skills, which are part 1 there, is identify possible physical unmet needs. So you have
Yeah.
5 there, or the emotional unmet needs, and then how to use PPA with the gems and using the visual verbal touch cues. This is stuff you've been doing, the positive personal connectors, and then the positive action starters and hand under hand. So that's all kind of stuff you've been doing. The real kind of new piece here is really the unmet needs. So what I suggested to Abby, because she's at the same state you are, you guys are rocking right along. And so let me know if this feels like too much. If it doesn't,
Okay.
my suggestion would be, since we're going into call 5, so as you do a video for call 5, you're doing Amber Ruby. My suggestion is you pick out one and you tell one of the people you're working with that they're going to be an Amber or a Ruby, but you
Okay.
don't tell the person who's approaching what they are, or that they could be
Okay.
any gem level. So don't share with that person who's going to be doing the approaching what gem level they are. So for this exercise,
Okay.
if you have someone who's sort of done the preceptor role,
Yep.
like so if it's Pete or Kirsten or someone else doing the approach, that might be good here,
Okay.
because then they'll be more familiar with the gem levels.
Yep.
Okay, so excuse me there. So then, what if, see if this makes sense to you? What if you tell the person who's playing the gem that they're going to be either an amber or a ruby, and then
Yep.
how they need to play it if they don't already know, and then that they have one of these unmet needs, and you could show them the unmet need sheet. They either have a physical
Okay.
or an emotional unmet need, and then you could so if I'm playing the person living with dementia, I have in my mind, okay, I'm going to be a Ruby in my unmet need. I look at it and I say, okay, I'm going to be, I have an elimination need, so I have to go to the bathroom. But I'm a Ruby.
Yep.
I'm not really going to be so good telling you with my words that I need to go to the bathroom. So I have that in my mind. And then you show the same sheet to the person doing the approaching, saying they're going to have one of these unmet needs, and you're going to be using a positive physical approach, PPA, to interact. And I want you to figure out, one, what gem level are they? And two, what is their unmet need? Is it a physical? It's going to be one of these. It'll be on the list. Is it going to be a physical or emotional need? Which one? What do you think is going on there? And then three, kind of in the moment, as a person approaching, try to figure out how they can meet that unmet need of the person. What do you think?
Yeah.
Seem like a lot?
What's that? No, I think that sounds fair.
You think that's doable from their side?
I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And then for your side, one of the things that, because Beth has I believe she has Kirsten and Pete, if I'm correct. I know she has Pete.
Yep.
Kirsten as well. One of the things she's going to be working with them on is precepting in the moment. So this is a good opportunity for you to practice that as well, precepting in the moment. I'm not exactly how she's clear about how she's going to do that with Kirsten and Beth, with Kirsten and Pete, but she'll probably have that discussion with them. But this seems like a ripe territory if this is your exercise, that, timing them out where you need to time them out, and help them piece through what the heck are we doing here, helping them identify the unmet needs and what kind of clues you're seeing that this was that need. But maybe the only one who truly knows, maybe you don't know what the unmet need is either. Maybe it's only the person playing the person living with dementia. They're just picking something out, but they're not telling you. So you're all kind of piecing this together.
Okay.
And you're still helping them through using the preceptor process, through this whole process about coming back to this overall idea of it being a dynamic assessment tool. And that's what that's what this is all about. So how are we assessing that,
Yeah.
and how are we interacting with them?
Absolutely.
Okay, so why don't we try that for the video? And if it is possible to get two people together, any two people together, to try like a live version of, doesn't necessarily have to be what we just discussed. What we just discussed should be good for a video, because we got lots
Okay.
of parts there. But even if you're only able to find two people who are just around and don't know any of this, but are willing to be part of a live video with us, that might be another good avenue of practice. In that, now I would say, if that's the case, we're going really back to the fundamental stuff of the 11 steps, and how are you helping to teach them with those 11 steps of the positive physical approach.
Yeah.
If that's not possible, I completely understand that. It does seem kind of difficult to achieve.
I can see what I can do though.
Okay. Okay. So does that all that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So as you're working with the other, you're working with Pete and Kirsten and the others, what are you learning from them about their experiences, and what are you able to help them learn?
Usually, like when I was with Kirsten yesterday, we both mentioned what we had needed to work on. And so it was just good just to discuss that, to remind us what we needed to practice and work on. And just discussing it in general has been really helpful. I wouldn't say there's anything specific, but like I said earlier, just even watching everybody do it and seeing the words that they use, and I can kind of pick out, I maybe would have worded that a little different, or something like that has been really helpful. So I don't know, it's just been nice to have them around.
Yeah, it's in a way, it's sort of like learning a secret language, and it's nice to be around other people who know the secret language.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about using this as a training tool, introducing it to people who weren't part of any of this? Have you been doing any of that?
Not really. No, I've been kind of waiting for me to get through all of this first. I've had a few patients with dementia who I've been working with that we want to do caregiver and staff training on. Just haven't really had that opportunity to actually do it yet. And I wanted to make sure I was comfortable with my skills before doing it. Just so that I looked confident, so that they had that buy-in a little bit better. So I've been kind of waiting for that.
Gotcha. So where are you on your confidence level? Because we have today, and we have 2 more calls. And that's where you're going to be certified as a PAC certified preceptor. Where are you in terms of where you are now versus where you want to be?
I think I'm pretty close. I think part of it for me is that the facility that I'm in is really big. And so it's knowing where I should start and what makes the most sense. And so it's that piece of it, I think. Trying to figure out, because people are willing to sit down with me and I feel comfortable teaching them this stuff, but it's who do I approach first and how to make it the most effective. And I think all of us preceptors who went to that training are having a call, I think next Tuesday, just between all the Big Stone staff. And I think that's a question I'm going to bring up to them to see if anybody's tried anything yet, what's been successful or not with them. So we'll see. That's where I'm at, I guess.
Yeah. So what are you thinking in terms of that? About, do you have a thought of, as you're looking at the full facility, who would be good to start with, or are you still percolating all those thoughts? Do you have any kind of game plan that you're working on?
Nothing that's set in stone. I'm obviously thinking about it, but I know our long-term care center has a caregiver support group. And so I know I want to go to that one day for sure. And working with Clarissa Dumday, she's really passionate about all this too. And so I think we have her support. It's just our bosses giving us the time to go do it, I guess. So I think that's what we're going to talk about with our Big Stone call next week. So
have you run into any issues there with the thought of, from upper management, what's this all about, or why are we doing this, or this is taking too much time? Any kind of resistance or pushback from this?
I think it's been okay for right now. They just need to clarify what our billable time is, because if we're having a lot of unproductive, unfortunately, I wish it wasn't this way, but if we have a lot of unproductive time, we get yelled at, and it's not ideal. Yeah. And so it's part of that, figuring out what we can bill to the facility for training other staff and all that kind of stuff. So we need to figure all that out before doing it for sure.
Gotcha. So I think what Loy was talking about today is to get together with Lynn and maybe even do a webinar of where do we go from here once you guys are done.
Yeah.
How do you start doing trainings with the personnel in the facilities and all those kind of issues? So everyone seemed to think like a useful thing to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, any way that any of us can support this, you guys are doing great. And we do know that this is a lot of commitment and time for you individually, but as an entire group. So we truly appreciate, and you're right on track here. You're rocking right through this. So really appreciate
Well,
all.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Anything,
thank you.
yeah. Anything I can help you with at this point? Clarify the plan for next week, or what can I do here?
I think I have a good idea what we're doing. I'm gonna try it. I'll send out a couple emails to see if we can get some people blocked to help me next week with that phone call. I'll see what I can do with that. So I will let you know for sure.
Okay, and then so you're meeting early in the morning with Pete and the others. Is that what's happening on a regular basis?
Yeah, yep.
So Beth even said that she would be willing to get up in early if you wanted to try to do that, with Pete as a live session. So maybe something like that would also work too. So whatever works for you guys, we're willing to accommodate.
Is there a way that Pete and I can do our call together, or yeah? Okay, well, I'll talk to Pete about that. I'm sure that would work pretty well. So yeah, I'll bring that up to him.
Okay, sounds good. Keep up the wonderful work. You're really doing a great job.
Well, thank you, Clark. Thanks for all your help.
You bet. Take care.
Yeah, bye.